Good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. Yes, I brought along the Pooh and the Cubs. The Pooh Bear and his Cubs. We're here to do episode I do every month, right at the end of the month, last day. This is new albums purchased. Or for those of you who can't remember that because I can't remember it, so I assume you can't, we call this album hauls. So this is January's album hauls. I didn't think I was going to have many. I thought I would probably just have the four that I ordered plus one that I found at a thrift store. But then I went by my favorite record store and bought four more. And then when I was there, I had asked them about an album. I had asked them about an album, and they said they didn't have it, but if they get it, they would let me know. Well, they phoned me before I got home, and a guy said, "Oh, actually, I found the one you were looking for." So I went down on the last Sunday and got the album, and of course, I bought three other ones as well. So now we got 12. There's 12 albums in the stack here. We're going to do it pretty much the normal way I always do it, which is do the progressive stuff first. Then I think in this case this mostly progressive this month. Then I got some psychedelic stuff, some pop, and put the metal at the bottom this time. So usually I break them up in their genres and do them that way. Try to give you a little bit more information, but I always now what I've been doing the last, I don't know how many months I've been doing this, probably since September, where I've been opening them as I get the ones that are not used. I've been opening them in front of you. If they're packaged and came in, I do that too, but mostly I just open. If they're brand new packaged ones, I usually just open them when we get them here. So the first one on the list, I got it on Core. This is a Barclay James Harvest. Honored Ghosts. I don't know much about this album. I like the cover a lot. I've been wanting to get some Barclay James Harvest. There's a couple of their albums I quite like a lot, and there's a couple I don't care much for. So I don't know which category this one is going to fit into. It's a nice looking album though. Very pastoral in its look. I don't know if that's what we're going to get here or not. But yeah, I got this. This is used. And as you can see, it's on the Polydor label. And it's in good shape. And that place I like because their used albums are as in good shape as their new ones often. Very few times I don't think I've ever taken one back, actually. Comes with a little book, Barclay James Harvest, Time-Honored Guests. There's the list of the tracks. And you've got, I guess, the vocal parts. Oh. Yeah, just the written. I guess this is primarily an instrumental. I don't know if maybe that's good, maybe that isn't. 3 songs here have lyrics. In My Life, Sweet Jesus, and Jonathan all have lyrics. 3 of the first 4, and then the rest of them don't. There's no lyrics for them on here that I see. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is, middle page. So there's the rest of the lyrics there. They were stuck together at first, so I didn't get it. So that's the first album that I got. It's a used one from Encore in Kitchener. Yeah, I like it. So that's the first one. The second one, been looking for this for a long time. It's a little bit pricey, more pricey than I wanted, but definitely had to have it to like I have some live Genesis already. This is Seconds Out. This album I've been listening to for, I'm going to say about 42, 43 years ago when my friend taped some of this stuff. And that was where I got my original live Genesis stuff from, was this album. So there it is there. It's also used, so I paid 18 bucks for it, as you can see, but I'm quite happy with it. I believe it's a double CD, but then again, no, it is not. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, let's see how it works. Yeah, it is a double CD. I thought so. So there's one disc, and there's disc 2. Actually, they've got disc 1 and 2 are backwards here, but that's okay. Both in good condition, as you can see. So yeah, the used stuff from them is really good. This album I've been looking forward to getting. I think this will probably end up being an album I listen to quite a bit. There's all the members of the band, including Chester Thompson, who does the drums. Him and Bill Bruford both doing drums on this album. It doesn't say... Oh, okay. Yeah. It looks like they're both playing various parts on here. Bill Bruford and Chester Thompson. Phil Collins as well. So you got three drummers on this album. It's pretty amazing. So I'm looking forward to listening to this in its entirety. I've heard most of it, bits and pieces of most of it, but never as an entirely as a album, like from front to back. So bits and pieces that people taped for me. So Seconds Out, that's the second album. Next up is the first new one we're going to talk about. So this one came from Laser CD. I bought 4 off of them this month. This was the final book that I did not have. So it's actually the middle book of the trilogy of the Chronicles of Father Robin. This is the middle book of the Songs and Tales of Aoya, Book 2. This is the Ocean Traveler. I think the cover on this one is better than the one on the third cover, but I've heard that this isn't as good as the other 2 albums. But I guess I'll have to listen to it and let you know. But we're going to open it now. I guess I should have brought something sharp in here. We'll use the pen cover here. There we are. We're in. We're in like a grin. In like a Flynn with a great big grin, as they say. Oh, wow. I'm going to end up making a huge mess here, aren't I? Anyways, we got her open. Let's see what we get. See what the booklet looks like inside, if I can get the stupid thing to open. It's a Prague monster proof. There we are. There it is. So this one is a little bluer. The other one, the third one's lighter in color, and the other one is a little more green in color. But this one, because it's an ocean one, I'm assuming. Nice blue color inside. CD's in excellent condition. Giant turtle on it. So yeah, I'm just going to take the book out. See what we get. If it'll come. Another Prague monster proof. So yeah, it's just the same, pretty much the same as the other one. There's a nice map of Ariel. I don't know that this map is on the other 2. I don't recall seeing it. I'd have to go look. This one's of the oceans, so maybe that's why I didn't notice it. Over windwards. Yeah, some nice stuff in here. Basically, it's a page devoted to each song on the album. I think there's 6. I think there's 6 on the first 2 and only 5 on the final album. So this is book 2, Ocean Traveler. Yeah, same appearances by the same people. There's a list of them there. And you also have stuffs about the artwork. So I'm curious about the artist on here. I don't remember seeing anything on the cover design and concept by Thomas Hagen Cabal and Andres W.S. Prestmo. Well, these guys are already playing on the album. So, anyways, nice album, nice album cover. I'm hoping this one is as good as the other 2. The other 2 both made the top spot on my charts, or on my playlist, I should say. Got to the number 1. So they deserve, hopefully this one will do the same. Okay, so the next one up is another, what they would call the second wave of progressive rock, which came out in the early 80s, featuring Pendragon here. So this particular album, I believe, is not that old, though. We're going to open it and check it. So this is Pendragon's Masquerade Over Time. The Masquerade Over Time. This is my first Pendragon album. I have listened to some of their stuff, but I've never actually gone out and purchased any, so I don't know much about it. I hope I'm not going to be disappointed, but probably should have listened to the album before you spent the money on it, but sometimes I'm impulsive that way. These wrapping things don't want to seem to work too well, though. We want to keep the album secure forever. We don't want you to listen to it. We just want you to look at it. Okay, so there's the second one out. So there it is. Pendragon, Masquerade Over Time. Kind of a busy cover, eh? Album, of course, brand new, so in top shape. I'm going to take out the book and look at it. It's a pretty thick one, too. Pretty thick book. So it looks like it's got inside cover matching the outside cover, or the back of the back, anyways. And you've got, yep, it's just basically the lyrics for the songs on the album. Some fairly lengthy lyrics here too, so I'm thinking most of these songs are fairly lengthy. There's shots of the band. Very new to this band. I know very little about them other than the couple of albums that I've had the pleasure of listening to. And this is a list of the people in the band and the credits, of course. So who do we got here? We got Nick Barrett on guitars and vocals, Clive Nolan on keyboards, Fudge Smith, well, I know him, on drums, Peter G on bass, and backing vocals by Tracy Hitchkins, Nick Barrett, Tina Riley, Anthony Plowman, Gwen Ross, and Simon Clue. Some of these people I've actually heard of before, so maybe there are. So there's the list of songs on it. Looks like there's 9 altogether. So this is Pendragon, The Masquerade Over Time. Looking forward to this. This will be my kind of baptismal on these guys, even though I know I've listened to a couple stuff, but nothing so that's totally memorable, just impressions. Next up, one of my favorite bands, also a new wave of progressive metal, not progressive metal, sorry, second wave of progressive rock. IQ, again, another IQ. This will be my 5th one, I believe. The Road of Bones. I've heard this is pretty good. It looks like a dark album. I'm hoping it has a lot of that dark matter feel to it as well. But I guess we will find out when we do it. So it's a brand new one, of course. Also, the last 3 I've purchased, all 3 of them from Laser CD or Laser's Edge. I wish I lived in the States. It'd be a lot cheaper for me. So, here's the album from the inside. There's the album. Looks good. Cover's not too bad, too. This one's got a very kind of dark feel to it, this album. So let's pull out the booklet. There they are. Everybody that's in the band. Paul Cook, Neil Durant, Tim Isu, Michael Holmes, and Peter Nichols. So everybody I like is all here, with the exception of drawing a blank on his name. Anyways, the bass player is a different guy than what I've known. What year is this album from? Does it say? It does not. It appears does not. I'll give you a little look at tour of the book. So there's front page, inside flap with the list of members. Then you've got Road to the Bones, that's the first song. Ocean. until the end. That's an attractive book. It's got a little green to it, which always makes me happy. And there you go. John Jowett was the guy. I was trying to remember his name. Yeah, so he's not on here, but that's fine. I do like them. Hopefully this will be as good as some of the other stuff. I'm kind of excited to listen to this album. So IQ's The Road of Bones. So that's the third album from Laser CD. Now we'll give you the last one from Laser CD. Another Wobbler album, The Rights at Dawn. So this is, I believe, their third album. I'm looking for a date. I don't see it. But since it's new, we're going to be opening this one too. These last two have come out pretty good. First two were a little bit tough on me. Christ. That's the only problem with this plastic stuff is it's magnetic and sticks to everything. So there it is. There's the cover. Wobbler, Rights of Dawn. Back is kind of the same color scheme, so as you can see there are 7 songs. That's probably the most songs on a Wobbler album that I've seen at this point. Usually there's 4. I think 4 is standard with their albums, but there's 7 on this one. And as you can see, album's in great shape. Not much of a album facing though. This may be the least colorful of their albums. So we've got the inside page, inside back flap. We've got In Orbit, which is another song from it. Here's a picture of the 5 members of the band. I think there's 5 there, right? Yeah, 5 members, and it looks like a fox. Another list of lyrics here. They don't tend to have very long, like their songs are long, but their lyrics, there's not much to their lyrics most of the time. And this one doesn't give you any information on the band members. At least I don't see anything here. Yep, nothing on the band members at all on the album or the booklet. But so that's the last of my Laser CD ones. I went a little different with Laser CD this time. Usually I pick 4 or 5 cheap ones, like $5 ones, and then I'll pick one good one. This time I tried to spend $15 on all 5 of them or more. Yeah, so it doesn't say when this was released though. That was kind of disappointing. But I'm pretty sure this is their third album. So Wobblers, Rights, and Dawn. Okay, so that's 6 albums so far. All of the Laser CD ones done. Next ones are mostly used. This one's a Tangerine Dream, which I bought when I went last week to get the other new album that I went there to get. I've been told that this one has vocals on it. So that's part of the reason why I picked it. It's because if any of you follow Tangerine Dream, you know that they're pretty much a keyboard electronic driven band with no vocals, and they've put out, I don't think I'm exaggerating if I said they put out 100 albums already. I don't really think I am. So this was recorded January of 1978 in the Audio Studio in Berlin. You've got Steve Jolliffe on vocals and bass flute here. Edgar Froese, of course, on Oberheim and a multitude of keyboard instruments. Klaus Krieger on another drums. And Chris Frank also on synthesizers and other electronic sequencers and stuff. So there it is, Cyclone. There's not really much to the book, just a little bit of writing on the inside and then the back page as well. So it was only $9, and I had heard that this particular one had vocals on it, so I was curious to see if they're different with the vocals or not. So yeah, Tangerine Dreams, Cyclone. Okay, we still got, how many is that? We've done 7 and we've got 5 left. Yeah, that makes sense. So next up is that was the last of the progressive rock albums, or prog albums if you prefer. 7 in total. This one is the first. I guess you might want to call this a little proggy, but I think of this more as a psychedelic album by a band that I like quite a bit, Osric Tentacles. This is Earland. Yeah, they've got their covers are really kind of marshmallowy, psychedelic, very scientific or science fiction or fantasy like. First time I discovered this band was a few years ago when we were doing, I think, one of the Battle of the Bands, and I think Ben gave me this one. It was one of the ones he gave me, and I was really taken with these guys. They're quite good. The only disappointment for me with this band is there's no vocals. They're all instrumental, but very different type of instrumental. I really like their album covers. They're very kind of fantasy oriented. Get a real close look at it here. Yeah, real detailed stuff too. And the back is quite good as well. So this has a total of 12 tracks on it. Just a nice layout of this song inside the book. This is not a digipack. This is basically just a folder. Has a little booklet here, or a little cover on the inside, which holds the. If I can get it to come out, that would be good. But oh, here it is. Yep, I had it upside down. So here's the CD. If we can get it to come out without breaking it, it's in good shape, as you can see. Kind of quirky covers to it. And it just fits back in this little pocket book that comes with it. And then I believe the other side is basically so you got this little book on the album. There's the front, there's the back. And then of course you've got your a lot of stuff they're trying to say. Well, you've got this on the inside, but then you also have some ads for things on the outside. These are common in most of these books now. Try to get you to buy other things, which is good because there are a few things that I've wanted to get that I saw in these books. It's tough times. Sometimes they're out of stock. So yeah, so Osric Tentacles, and this one is called Earpland. Yeah, really kind of, if you've not heard of the band, I forgot to put the disc back in. If you haven't heard of this band, very psychedelic instrumental band. Lots of quirky keyboard stuff going on that if you like that psychedelic feel, you're going to like these guys a lot. So the next two up are both pop bands, or I would call them rock bands. These are two discs that came out in the early 70s from a band that I like a lot, but had a hard time finding the album. So you've got the Stampeders. Yeah, this has Sweet City Woman on it. One of my favorite songs by them, probably my favorite song by them. It's got the instrumental version on this album as well. And this album is called Against the Grain. And then the other one is another Stampeders, Carry On. Lots of good stuff on here too. I'm looking, Wild Eyes is on this one, which for those of you who don't know much about the Stampeders, you might know these two albums. So both albums came out in 1971. I'm not sure which one was first. I'm going to guess that this one was first. The reason I think that is because if you see, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just, this looks like the Danforth Viaduct in Toronto. I don't know that it is, but it definitely looks some familiarity to it. Anyways, these guys are really good. If the best way to describe them is they're kind of a Canadian, kind of country western, kind of poppy, up-tempo kind of band, kind of bouncy band. Yeah, quite good. They're really good, the Stampeders. I highly recommend them. So those are their two. Now the last two albums are both metal albums. This one I got at a dollar store. It was there. I don't know much about it. It's Ozzy's Osbourne Black Rain. I think it's a fairly recent album by him too. Just looking for a date on it. So we'll take the book out, see what we got. Yeah, it just folds right out. Lyrics, everything. Who's on this album? Let me see. Ozzy, of course. Doesn't say anything about who's playing what on here. There's nothing. Not on this side. Oh, here we are. Musicians. Ozzy Osbourne on vocals, Zakk Wylde on guitars and keyboards, Mike Bordin on drums and percussion, and Blasco on bass. Doesn't give a date released or when it was printed. Oh, it looks like 2007, so it's not too long ago. I mean, comparatively speaking to Ozzy's career, it's not too long ago, but of course it's 2007. That means it's a good 18 years anyways. So I don't know much about the album. I'll give it a listen and hear what it gets. And for the $2 I spent on it, can't hurt, right? So we have one album left. If I can just get Ozzy's thing back in here. Last album for the month. This one's a brand new one. Just came out like less than a couple weeks now. I did a video on it already. My name is even on it because they saved it for me, put my name on it. So this is Tokyo Blade. Time is the Fire. For those of you who've already seen the video, you can go back and watch that. Brand new album. Less than a couple weeks old. I've not heard anything by these guys before other than this. They are one of the what they call the new wave of British heavy metal bands. This, I believe, they originally came out in the early 80s. This album is, of course, from 2025, the first one you'll see of the year for me on my channel. Time is the Fire is the name of the album. It's a really nice cover. I really like the hues in the red. It's almost spacey. And then you got your list of tracks on the back there. Then you've got, of course, the CD, which you can see here. Good shape. Now this is a digipack. Not really a big fan of digipacks. I just find that they're very cheap and they break easy. And then when they break, you can't really do anything with them because it's not like you can just take them out and put them in another CD case because everything is put in here. Now you could, I guess, put them in a book like that and just attach this into it and then put them in a thing like that. And I guess if you had to do that, you could. But hopefully I just won't break it. So here's a picture of everybody in the band on the back. And the album cover again. So this is the little book that comes with it. Basically just giving you the lyrics for everything. Sometimes these books give you the lyrics. Other times they give you information about the band or their history or the history of the album or a number of different things. Sometimes you get both, but most of the time you just get the lyrics. If you're just getting the lyrics, that's what you get. Just the lyrics all the way through. And that's not a bad thing because how many times when I was a kid there's songs out that I would be singing for years and I had the lyrics wrong. So this is a five-member band. Tokyo Blade would like to... Oh, yeah, sorry. Nope, these are not the band members. Well, they are the band members, but they're not telling what they play. It's basically just telling you their thanks. I mean, this is a big thing nowadays. So you get the Tokyo Blade would like to thank the following type of thing. So on the inside cover, put this back in the book here. So on the inside cover you have the list of, right here, you got the list of people who are in the band. So you've got Alan Marsh on vocals, Andy Bolton on guitars, John Wiggins on guitars, Steve Pierce on drums, and Andy Wrighton on the bass. Yeah, so this came out like not even 2 weeks ago because I did the video for it a week ago. Yeah, I think it's actually probably about 2 weeks now, maybe even closer to 3 actually. So that's it. That's the last of the albums for this week. This has been a bit of a longer one. Took a little bit longer because of the wrapping. So I'll just give them to you back, so in case you're a person that likes to make notes. Tokyo Blade, Time is the Fire. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Rain. The Stampeders, Against the Grain. This also came from Encore Video. And Stampeders, Carry On. Osric Tentacles, Irp Land. It's a tough thing to say. Tangerine Dreams, Cyclone. And just in case I didn't mention it or you missed it, that has vocals on it. Wobbler, Rights of Dawn. Rights at Dawn? Yeah, Rights at Dawn, sorry. IQ, The Road of Bones. Pendragon, The Masquerade Overture. The Chronicles of Father Robin. The Songs and Tales of Aoria, Book 2, Ocean Traveler. So now I have all 3, which is, I wanted this one second, obviously, but I couldn't get it. Genesis Seconds Out, the live album. Most people like this. Most people say that's their best live album. And then the final one, Barclay James Harvest and Time Honored Ghosts. So there you go. That's the collection for this week. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notifications if you want to be notified of next month's album haul or what's new. And if you got anything to say about any of the albums, or if you have any opinions about any of the albums, you can put those in the comment section below. I'm always curious because there's always somebody who's watching it who knows something about one particular album that maybe I don't know anything about, which is good because I like that little bit of information about the album. So there you go. So have yourself a good one. Take care and goodbye.